Guys, what's up? This is John, Gamester81, and this is my review over Panzer Paladin. I'm playing this on Steam. It came out July 21st, 2020. Also available on Nintendo eShop for the Switch. I'm a big fan of these 8-bit retro platformers. It's one of my favorite genres to play. I have a unique perspective. I'm a game developer myself, and we also release an 8-bit retro platformer for the same platforms. So I know how much work goes into making these types of games. So I definitely appreciate Tribute Games for their time and effort into making this game. Also appreciate them sending this review copy to check out for you guys. First thing I fell in love with about this game is the art style. I love the anime look. I love the orange, yellow, red kind of color shade that they used here in many cases. And the basic premise is you're in this paladin, this armor. There is a story, although to be honest, the story to me wasn't a main focus in the game. You can still play the game in each levels, and there's 17 levels throughout. So it is a pretty decently sized game. And once you start the game, there's various options. So you can start a new game, load, of course. There's awards, options, various languages, vibrations, blacksmith filters. You can choose everything. There is 100 melee weapons in this game as well. Although a lot of the melee weapons kind of act the same. Some are shorter than others. Some will cause more damage than others. But for the most part, all the action is the same. There's a remix and classic mode. You start with classic. You have to unlock the remix mode. And this kind of reminded me of like Street Fighter 2. You kind of choose your own theme, kind of harkens back to the classic Capcom games back in the day, like Mega Man, DuckTales, games like that, where you actually choose your own part of the world you want to go to. And so I think this is really taken from it. This game kind of feels to me like a classic Capcom game, although graphically, I don't think this game would work on an NES, and it's almost between like 8-bit and 16-bit. But each world, whether you're in Japan or Canada or the US, etc., they have a really cool theme. And I love the parallax scrolling. You're in this paladin, and you can see in the very top left is my grit. And once that deplenishes, then I lose my paladin, and I'm this mini guy who you can control. I'll show you there. So that works in a second. There's several different enemies. Some of the enemies appear in multiple levels. Some are exclusive to other levels. And you can only collect up to 4 melee weapons at a time. Now, if you don't have a melee weapon, you do have this punch that is very short range, and it doesn't take much damage. And every level, for the most part, has this kind of horseman. This is the first boss you fight in the game, but he appears pretty much mid-level each level. So even though each level is different, the same premise for each level is the same. You play the level from point A to point B, and then midway through that, you fight this horseman. You get a really cool melee weapon each time. There's points also in each level where you have to basically hit select and you jump out of your paladin and to progress. And you can see this level, his armor is in the smaller top left bar. I love the swinging action here. So when I first played this game, I was like, oh, I'm dead. But then you end up jumping out of this guy. And once this guy dies, it's good. You're good to go, right? You're dead for good. To respawn your paladin, you jump on this platform here, hit select, and then you can jump back into your paladin. There are checkpoints in the game, although there's only 1 or 2 per level. They're pretty spaced out. I do like the boss battles. Each boss battle is unique, and I love the pixel art. And so things I really enjoy about this game, the music, the artwork, the controls are really solid. So if you're looking for a really good platformer that has really solid controls, this is definitely one to check out. The things that didn't really impress me, to be quite honest with you, were the weapons. The weapons get damaged every time you use it. So for example, when I'm using it, see top right corner, I'm done with it. You can throw it as well. And when you throw it, it does cause some damage, but if it hits an enemy, that's it. You're almost punished for using your weapons. And in order to save the game, you got to use your weapon into the save spot, like right here. You have to use it, and you lose it. So you're almost punished again for saving that level. Now, if I were to take it out again and use it, I would lose that save point. So it's very similar to, I guess, Shovel Knight, where if I were to destroy that save point, and get those gems, I would no longer be able to use it. You do get a new weapon after every boss battle and mid-boss battle with a horseman, and some enemies will drop their weapon as well. Though I do find that if you lose your weapon and you die, you don't get that weapon back, which can be frustrating because if you only have 4 weapons, is what you're held to, and you keep dying, at the end of the day, you'll end up only using your fist power, which is worthless because it does very little damage to the boss. And because you only have X amount of lives, and you die, you lose them all, you have to start from the beginning of each level. So that kind of can be a frustration. I think they did that to be kind of old school feel, although it does get frustrating because with a weapon. So I'm not a huge fan of the weapon mechanic in this game, to be quite honest. I wish it was a little bit different, but some of the weapons are cool. There's a hockey stick, there's a baseball bat, and they have this blacksmith option where you can actually design your own weapon in the game. Under this option, I'll create a giant penis because I guess because I can. And you can set the durability and the speed. So I thought this was kind of a fun thing that you can do, and you can put this in the game where you'd unlock it later. So you can't equip it right away. You basically have to unlock it later in the game. So overall, this game is okay. I like it as a platformer. The levels do get kind of long. I wish there was more save points. I wish the weapon mechanic was different. So there's a lot of things I think they could have done to make this game better. Although I do give kudos to the team for developing a fun game with good graphics, gameplay, and music. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Game on.